Hi guys, my name is Serena. Welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'm going to do something that I haven't done in a long time, and that is a book review. I think my last book review was last year, obviously, and it was Our Year of Maybe. And today I'm going to be reviewing another contemporary, that is Since You've Been Gone by Morgan Matson. I have owned this book for over 5 years now. I finally read it this month. I enjoyed it more than I thought I would. I think I gave it 4.5 stars. Look how pretty the cover is. Look inside. Like, that's pretty. And it's just a cute summer read. I'm glad that I read it finally. Usually I structure my book reviews saying the plot at first, then talking about the characters and my feelings, my rating. Obviously I already told you my rating. Yeah, at the end I tell you guys like some specifics, but let's begin with the plot. Since You've Been Gone is about two girls, Emily and Sloane, who have been friends for 2 years now. They are completely different people. Sloane is very outgoing, extroverted. She does a lot of things that Emily wouldn't do without her or at all. She is relatively new to the town. She's been there 2 years, I guess. Emily, on the other hand, as I said, very introverted. She is always like in her shadow with her. People notice her, like know her as Sloane's friend. And one day Sloane just disappears. It's not like a murder mystery or anything. She and her family moved, basically, and she hasn't told anything to Emily, and she's worried. She doesn't get why she hasn't said anything. She's just trying to figure out where she is. One day a letter comes to her house, and in this letter there's a list from Sloane telling her that she has to do 13 things. Very crazy stuff, as you can tell, that she never does, never would have done. And then at the end, when she does everything, she can go find her. And so this motivates Emily to do things that she would never have done otherwise. And she grows, she gets out of her comfort zone, she meets people, makes friends, and I really like that part of the book. I really like the friendship. At the end, it was kind of sad. I will talk about it in a bit. There were a few things that bothered me, like some characters. Sloane, sometimes I didn't think she was a good friend sometimes, and there were certain situations in which I thought, wait, is she going to be a bitch? But she came through. She was a good friend, I guess. And I believe that Morgan Matson, if she wanted to, could have created a romance between these two girls. Just saying that, because Emily was kind of, you know, she loved her. But in a friendship kind of way, I guess. The boy characters, I enjoyed everyone except for Sam, her boyfriend. Sloane's boyfriend. Didn't like him. If you read the book, you know why. And I didn't like the parents. I think that the parents were just there for plot convenience. They like theater. They enjoy theater. They create shows, plays, and this summer in particular they decided to write a new one. So they didn't pay attention to their children at all, and I felt bad, especially for the little brother who is a crazy little kid. I felt bad for him because really they didn't pay attention at all, and once they were done, all of a sudden the mother was like, where have you been? Like, what do you mean? Pay attention to your kids. But I guess that was convenient because she was able to do a lot of stuff thanks to this plot thingy. The last character, I guess, that I have to talk about is Emily herself, which is just a normal, typical main female character of a contemporary, you know, shy, slowly goes out of her comfort zone. She did some things that were annoying and I do not agree with, which I will talk about in a little bit. But overall, my favorite character, I have to say, I really liked Frank. Frank is the boy character, the main boy character, who is very mature for his age, but I guess because he is class president, he studies a lot, he usually does summer camps at Princeton. I guess he's not like other boys. And I enjoyed seeing a non-bad boy in a book for once. Overall, I really enjoyed this book. Wasn't expecting that. There were a few things that bothered me, and I'm going to talk about them now. So if you do not want to be spoiled, leave. And if you have read this one, please stay. Let's talk about it. Maybe I've read it a long time ago and I'm going to refresh your memory. Who knows? Because let's face it, who is watching this video? This book is old. So I have a few notes, just like keywords to refresh my memory. And the first note that I have is poor Gideon. And if you don't know who Gideon is, Gideon was Sam's friend. Sam was Sloane's boyfriend at the time, and because Sloane was dating Sam, they kind of matched Emily and Gideon together, so they were a thing too. They were dating. Emily just went with it because Sloane was with Sam and she just wanted to spend time with Sloane, honestly. But Gideon, on the other hand, really liked her. And poor Gideon, when Emily broke up with him just because Sloane broke up with Sam, that I didn't like what she did. So Sloane and Sam broke up because Sloane walked in Sam kissing Emily. What an idiot. I hated Sam from the beginning. He was the type of boyfriend who tried to make the two best friends go apart. I know that type of boyfriend, and I hate that type of relationships, especially when the girlfriend lets it happen. Thankfully, Sloane didn't. And when she walked in, Sam kissing Emily, I thought for a moment that she was going to be angry with Emily. But thankfully, she wasn't that girl. Thankfully, she was a good friend in that situation. She just dumped him and went with her friend. And I like that. But for a second there, I thought she was going to do something else. Another thing that I did not like about Sloane is the scene in which she was trying to force Emily to go in a bar with a fake ID. Emily was not having it. She didn't want that to happen. She didn't want to do it, and she was kind of pressuring her, and I hated that. She ended up going in and Emily stayed in the car. She waited for her like I would have gone away. And when Sloane went out, she didn't apologize at all. And when Emily was trying to make conversation, telling her, like asking her, how was it? She was all bitchy saying, if you really wanted to know, you should have come in. Like, why? The last thing that I hated about Sloane was that scene which she started going out with Sam, and they went to this outdoors cinema, Emily and Sloane, and then all of a sudden her boyfriend Sam came and she just ditched Emily. Why? You barely see her anyways. She was looking forward to this night with her best friend, and you just leave her there. And at the end, we discover that Sloane has parents who spend all their money, and they end up moving a lot, going into people's houses wherever they are accepted. So she moves a lot, and she didn't actually say goodbye to Emily because of that. She is just tired of saying goodbye to everyone, and I get it, but you could have said goodbye. Even if you're convinced that you're not gonna see that person anymore, just say goodbye. That's just rude. So yeah, she was a confusing character to me. There were some times in which I thought she was not a good friend, others in which she came through good for you. As I said, the parents were used for me as a plot convenience because Emily was able to do a lot of things thanks to them not being present. In particular at the end, when Emily discovered where Sloane is and she needed to go all the way down to South Carolina or North Carolina, I don't remember. She had to do like a really long drive to go see her, and all of a sudden their parents were going out of town for the weekend. That's convenient. These little things seem so unrealistic to me. The last thing that I want to talk about is Dawn. So Dawn was the pizza girl from, you know, the neighborhood in which Emily was working in. Emily was working at an ice cream shop while Dawn was working at a pizza shop. So one day Dawn was cheated on by her boyfriend, who also works with her, with a co-worker. And Dawn had to go out of the pizzeria, and she just casually went into the ice cream shop where Emily was, and she comforted her. She asked how she was and all that, and they become friends. Dawn ends up being part of the friend group for the rest of the summer. Then something else happens towards the end with Frank. Frank is the main love interest, and he was still in a long-term relationship with a girl who at the time was at a summer camp at Princeton, I want to say, but things were not great between them for a long time. She didn't go to her birthday, they weren't talking as much. So in the meantime, Frank was kind of falling for Emily and vice versa, but it was still not official. The breakup was not official. Emily ends up kissing Frank, and she has doubts. What if he doesn't really like me because he's still with this other girl and he just leaves her? So that kind of fueled her confusion, and she decides to confide in Dawn. Dawn got angry because she felt like she was doing the same thing that her boyfriend did to her, cheating, you know? So she was not having it. They just had a fight, and that was it for the rest of the book. I didn't like that. I really wanted like a scene in which they make peace, because I kind of like their friendship. So after, you know, Frank actually breaks up with this girl and ends up with Emily, I just wanted that little scene which she talks with Dawn and Collins, who ends up being Dawn's boyfriend, and, you know, just making peace and being friends again. So when I finished this book, it felt like something was missing. You know, I really wanted that closure. It was so difficult to formulate my thoughts for some reason, but those are the things that I wanted to talk about this book. I hope you enjoyed this video, and let me know what you think about this book. I'll talk to you guys in another video. Bye!